Okay, welcome back. We are getting started here with number 3 on page 689. Okay, just finding the volume for numbers 3 and 4. All you have to do is do length times width times height. You have 6 times 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36, and 36 times 6 is the problem you need to solve. Probably have to jot that one down on the side. 6 times 6 is 36. Write down your 6, carry your 3. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 3 is 21. So you should have an answer of 216 inches cubed. Then we have another prism here that has your length and your width, height over here. So length times width times height, 12 times 4 times 4. Okay, 12 times 4 is 48, and 48 times 4 is your problem. So 48 times 4, something we can jot down on the side. 4 times 8 is 32, so write down your 2, carry your 3. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 3 is 19, so you have an answer of 192 feet cubed. All right, simple problems there. All right, so now number 5 says Cheryl has a box that is in the shape of a rectangular prism. Its height is twice the length. Its length is 3 times its width, and the width measures 6 inches. What is the volume of the box? Okay, it's not a difficult one. Sometimes I think it helps to maybe draw out, didn't mean to draw that crooked, draw out your prism here. Okay, so we know that the width right here is 6 inches. It says its height is twice the length. Well, we don't know the length yet, but we know that the length is 3 times the width. So 6 inches right there. What is 3 times 6? That's 18. So 18 inches is the length. And we know that the height is twice the length. So 18, we have 18 times 2 to figure out your height. So the height is twice the length. 18 times 2 is 36 inches. Okay, so there are the dimensions of your box. Times width times height, you would have 18 times 6 times 36. So we have some thinking to do on this one. You start out with 18 times 6. 8 times 6 is 48. Write down your 8, carry your 4. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. All right. Then you take 108 and you need to multiply that by 36. So some multiple steps here. 6 times 8 is 48. Write down your 8. Carry your 4. 6 times 0 is 0. Plus 4 is 4. And 6 times 1 is 6. Put in your place filler 0. Cross that out because we used it. 3 times 8 is 24. Write down your 4. Carry your 2. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2, and 3 times 1 is 3. We're going to add those together. 8 plus 0 is 8, 4 plus 4 is 8, 6 plus 2 is 8, and 3 plus nothing is 3, for an answer of 3,888. So your total volume of the box, which is the question, wasn't asking for the dimensions, is 3,888 inches cubed. A lot of work to solve that one. All right, now we're going to use some algebra to find the unknown measurement like we did on that one problem before. Some bigger numbers this time though. All right, so we are missing our height here. So right now you have an equation that looks like 420 equals 6 times 7 times your missing height. Okay, well, this one should be pretty simple. Okay, 6 times 7 equals 42. So 420 equals 42 times h. Well, 42 divided by 42 is 1, and then you add on your 0. So 10 is your missing number. 10 feet is the missing dimension. Okay? Little different over here. We have still the same missing dimension. We're missing the height. So you have 900 equals 6 times 15 times the height. I don't expect you all to know what 15 times 6 is, but remember, I told you guys to think about a clock when you think about that kind of stuff. So if I go around a clock at 15-minute increments, I go 15, 30, 45, 60. I went around the clock the full way, and I got to 60, and it took me 4 times. But then I would go to the 15 again, which would get me to 75 minutes, and then I would go around to 15 again, which would take me to about an hour and a half, which would get me to 90 minutes. Okay, so if that helps you there, 6 times 15 is going to equal 90. So we went around 6 ways at 15-minute increments and got to 90. So 90 times h equals 900. So again, 90 divided by 90 equals 1. And then we have 1 0 left over, which equals 10. And the reason that this one is different is because you did 90 divided by 90, which meant that only 1 0 was left over. There was a lesson that you guys learned a long time ago about the zeros. And that first 0 was part of the problem. And so you don't want to bring it over as part of your solution. So this one is also 10 centimeters. All right. That was a lot of work. So let's get all of this erased and out of here. And then we'll move on to page 690. All right. So now we've got some word problems over here for us to solve. It's not too bad. Get your page turned. I needed that. Number 8 says the Jade Restaurant has a large aquarium on display in its lobby. The base of the aquarium is 5 feet by 2 feet. Okay, 5 feet of a length. Let's draw out the width, 2 feet of a width. The height of the aquarium is 4 feet. So we'll write the height of the aquarium at 4 feet. No problem in labeling your pictures like that. How many cubic feet of water are needed to fill the aquarium? All right, so we know that this is 5 times 2 times 4. Should be a simple one. 5 times 2 is 10, times 4 is 40. So 40 feet cubed is the volume. So that's how much water is needed. All right, number 9, the Pearl restaurant put a larger aquarium in its lobby. The base of the aquarium, so we can erase these so we can reuse this aquarium. The base of the aquarium is 6 feet by 3 feet, and the height is 4 feet. The question says, how many more cubic feet of water does the Pearl Restaurant's aquarium hold than the Jade Restaurant's aquarium? So the first thing you need to, this doesn't, hold on. Didn't look like 4 feet. There we go. The first thing that we need to figure out is the volume of this aquarium. So 6 by 3 by 4. Okay, 6 times 3 times 4. Well, 6 times 3 is 18, and 18 times 4, 4 times 8 is 32, and 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. So it's 72. Now you need to take that 72 and subtract 40 from it. Subtract 40 from it in order to figure out how much more water this aquarium holds. So 2 minus 0 is 2, 7 minus 4 is 3. So it holds 32 feet cubed more. Okay, so make sure you answer the correct question there, not just find the volume of that one. All right. So I'm going to scroll here so we can do 10 and 11. And while I'm erasing, 10 goes with your math on the spot video. So, of course, they go into a nice deep explanation of the problem. So if you want that extra today, make sure you watch the math on the spot video. It'll be good. So take the time to do that if you would like. Number 10 says that Eddie measured his aquarium using a small fish food box. The box has a base area of 6 inches and a height of 4 inches. Eddie found that the volume of his aquarium is 3,456 cubic inches. How many boxes of fish food could fit in the aquarium? And explain your answer. So, if you are thinking about using his box, so what he is telling you is he has, with the 6 and the 4, he's giving you the base area, okay? So you know that right here, he has a, we'll say his, my pen's a little behind again. His box has a base area of nope. There we go. 6 inches squared and a height of 4. So I know the volume is 24 inches cubed. Okay, so you take that base area of his box of the 6 square inches, and you multiply that by 4. So the base of his box must be 2 by 3. Okay, and so it's probably 2 times 3 times 4, length times width times height. So that you know that the total volume of his box is probably, or not probably, it is 24 cubic inches. And then you can, then I can divide the volume of the aquarium by the number of boxes of fish food. Okay, so that's how you would figure it out. So let's figure it out. If I took 3,456 and divided it by 24, let's find out what the answer would be. So 24 goes into 34 once. 24 times 1 is 24. If we subtract 24 from 34, we get 10. And then we bring down our 5. Now, remember what I taught you about compatible numbers? 24 is pretty close to 25. 105 is pretty close to 100. So that means if you think about quarters and money, 24 probably goes into 105 4 times. So let's just jot that down on the side, see what that equals. 24 times 4 equals... 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 2 is 8. 96. That looks right. Okay, so 24 goes into 105 4 times. 24 times 4 is 96. We'll subtract that. Can't do 5 minus 6. So we 0. From over here, can't borrow from the 0, so we'll make this what you guys can do here. What I want to show you. This is a good opportunity. What I want to show you here is that this is right at that point where these aren't huge numbers. So this right here is where you can take, if I were just thinking about this in lower term numbers, I would take 105 and 96 and think about this like 15 minus 6, if that's where you're at. Because if you're thinking about these as smaller numbers, then remember I taught you guys, if the number up here is bigger than this one, then you'll go ahead and or if the number up here is smaller than this one, then this will be your 9. So like if this was a 4 and a 5, you'll come down and this will be 9. If this is a 5 and a 6, you'll come down and this will be a 9. If this is a 6 and a 7, so on and so forth, and you'll get a 9. And then these are going to cancel out, because if you would have borrowed from here, this would have been your 15 and this would have been a 9. So if that makes sense to you guys. If not, just borrow. All right. Anyway, so you bring down your 6, and we already know that 24 goes into 96 4 times because we did that. And subtract 96 from 96, and you get 0. And our answer is that there would be 144 boxes. Okay. All right, number 11. Manuel stores his favorite CDs in a box like this one shows. Use the number and symbols on the tiles to write a formula that represents the volume of the box. Symbols may be used more than once or not at all. Okay, so you know that volume equals length times width times height. Length times width times height. So volume equals 15 times 10 times 7. Okay? Don't need to use division, subtraction, or addition. We haven't talked about that at all as far as our volume formulas are concerned. All right, so let's find the volume of the box. You have 15 times 10 times 7. You can do 15 times 10 easily in your head. That is 150, and then you will do 150 times 7. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 5 is 35. Write down your 5, carry your 3, and 7 times 1 is 7 plus 3 is 10 for 1,050 cubic centimeters. Okay, so that is it for what we are going over. And today your assignment is pages 691 to 692. There is no worksheet assignment today because it was a Big Centers activity bingo game. So I left that out because there was no way I could have copied enough bingos and saved enough paper to make sure that we didn't kill all the trees. So you don't have a worksheet assignment today, but there is going to be a Google Hangout with Mrs. Kane today, so I hope to see you guys there. We will be announcing the winner of the jelly bean estimation jar, so I hope to see you guys there. Keep having more and more people in the Google Hangouts, which is excellent. That means more and more people's names are going into our prize buckets. Okay, so make sure you guys are showing up, participating, hanging out with us. It's excellent when we see you there, and I hope that you guys are staying healthy and you're working hard, and we'll see you this afternoon.